we have Phumla Jing from our Safer Cities unit to lead us through that discussion. And I understand that she is having a guest that she will later introduce for us to share, for her to share her views around this issue and what is it that can be done. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, please take note and record your questions, of which we will attempt or we will give a try, because it's very difficult to come up with a concrete answer to all the questions related to crime or safety. But there is a good attempt to ensure that we are all safe. Phumla Jingli, please, can you come on board? I know it's much more easier to introduce yourself and then tabulate the areas of the highlights that you like us to know, and then hide the non-truth that maybe someone will have given out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we allow Phumla to give us the presentation? Thank you very much. Welcome, all of us, to this session. Phumla?
Thank you, moderator. Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm Phumla Jingwe. I'm the manager for social crime prevention facilitation within the Safer Cities unit in eThekwini municipality. Yes, the introduction, it is difficult to introduce yourself, but however, I have spent my 20 years of my career in the SAPS, South African Police Service, because of my passion for safety and my passion to fight crime. So I know that I have not lost those years, because I know the effort that we undertook as police officers to ensure that the citizens of the country are safe. However, I'm now in the Safer Cities unit. I joined in 2016. I'm still carrying that passion over to eThekwini municipality. Yes, before I commence with my discussion, I would like to really appreciate the effort by the Office of the Strategic Management, especially at this time when everybody is becoming ready to enjoy the festive season after after a year of hard work and having seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we are here, we are saying it's time for the festive season, it's time to enjoy ourselves. So thank you, Phumzile and Mr. Msomi, for this effort, so that we can be able to sit around the table and discuss the issues of safety, especially during this important time of the year. This is the time where people meet their relatives, where people meet their friends, where people enjoy life, after all the hard work, as I've indicated. And this is the time when the city receives a lot of visitors, a lot of people that are coming here for different reasons, visiting, touring the city, coming to invest in the city because of the city being busy. So our tourism is going to be improved because we are receiving a lot of visitors. Now, coming to the issue at hand, the safety. How safe are we? First, what we ask ourselves, what is safety? Safety is a state of being safe. When you feel safe, then you say, okay, I am safe. The surroundings, when your surroundings are safe, then you are, you are satisfied that you are safe. But the next question now, are we really safe? Are the visitors really safe? Are our kids really safe? So the Safer Cities Unit is discharged with a mandate to ensure that the people that are living in eThekwini municipality, the people that are visiting, everyone that is here within eThekwini municipality is safe. To ensure that that is realized, what do we do? In 2019, we, together with the sister departments and other stakeholders, conducted a safety audit whereby we said we want to hear the perceptions of the people about the safety in eThekwini municipality. This audit was conducted in all the 111 wards. Thereafter, we came back and we said, okay, let us develop a city safety strategy. After we had collected all the evidence about how people feel in terms of safety in eThekwini, then that's when we developed a city safety strategy and we adopted the strategy. That was in 2020 when the strategy was finalized. So we are working according to that strategy that we developed and adopted. And this strategy was supported by a lot of stakeholders, by our political leaders, because it contained all the evidence about how people feel and what people would like to see so that their safety is improved. So the focus areas in this particular strategy, we have 5 focus areas. One is the integrated knowledge management. That's when we collect all the information on the ground that is going to advise us as to what interventions must be undertaken so that we improve the safety. Then we have the second one, the focus area, is the breaking the cycle of violence and crime. We know how crime affects us. It's so bad. It affects a lot of people, and some of the people and our relatives have lost lives because of crime. We have lost our properties because of crime. As we are in this room, I know everybody that is in this room has been affected in one way or another by crime. Hence, we say crime is our common enemy. Then the third one is the safety and effective policing, where we are saying we need to support the police so that they can be able to effectively deal with crime. The fourth one is the safe built environment. Here we are talking about, if you want to talk about one common thing, the lighting, for instance. Are we having enough lighting on the streets? Are we having enough lighting on the promenade, where we go at the ranks, in the public areas? Because if we do have that lighting, efficient lighting, then we can deter the criminals. The fifth one is the neighborhood management. How do we manage our neighborhood? How do we ensure that our neighborhood is safe? So in order to realize all that, there are programs that we undertake as the unit, of course, with the collaboration with other stakeholders. I've noticed some of them are here, stakeholders from national, provincial, and local government, and also stakeholders from the civil society. We are receiving a lot of collaboration from the stakeholders, and we are happy that we are collaborating in an effort to fight the scourge of crime. Then what do? We conduct awareness campaigns to say to the people, these are the elements of crime. Watch out for these. You know, what do you do when you witness a crime being a crime taking place? What is your responsibility as a citizen? You know, when you notice that there is a criminal element that is taking place, then also the awareness is as to how can you prevent crime from taking place? How can you ensure that you do not become a victim of crime? We also do that in collaboration with all the departments, as I've indicated, and also the civil society. We go to the communities, we go to the schools, because especially in the schools, we have noticed the level of violence that is taking place at the schools. So we have school safety programs. That's where we talk to the school, the learners, about the issues of safety, the issues of bullying, the issues of teenage pregnancy, because there are so many social ills that are taking place that are the fundamental causes of crime. So we are trying to address those issues in order to ensure that we live in a crime-free society. Then the next program that we do, we undertake the drugs and substance abuse awareness programs, because as we know that a lot of people that we see on the streets, a lot of people that you know, we live with, and also that we see at the schools, that the level of drug and substance abuse is so appalling. We notice a lot of people taking drugs. We notice a lot of people using those needles to inject themselves. You know, the homeless people, that those are the common examples of the people that are using drugs. So we undertake those programs to, you know, at least prevent the use of drugs, and also to say to them how harmful the drugs can be in the life of a particular person. We also undertake, we form part of the programs that deal with the built environment. Those programs are known as crime prevention through environmental design, because as I indicated, you know, if the design is enabling crime to take place, this is not okay. For instance, in most of the areas, what we noticed is the illegal dumping, you know, the parks that are not used, that harbor criminals. So we undertake programs together with the units that are relevant in terms of dealing with those issues, to say that let us minimize, you know, let us ensure that the parks are used, for instance, so that people, the criminals, don't find an opportunity to go sit there and commit crime. Also, the illegal dumping. We know how illegal dumping has become common in our areas, especially in the township areas, and also in other areas where there are informal settlements. I do not know the reason, because the bins are being provided in those areas, and also the garbage is being collected. But, you know, human nature, we educate people about those things, because we try to inform them that those could result in crime being committed in those particular areas. So those are the programs that we are undertaking, of course, with other stakeholders. Also, another issue that is very rife now is the gender-based violence and femicide. It's such a scourge that has infiltrated our society in a very, very negative manner. So we are undertaking programs to ensure that people understand the sketch and they understand as to if you become a victim, what do you do? Where do you go? So we undertake those programs where we provide that information together with the departments that are in the JCPS cluster, because those departments are the ones that are critical in issues of gender-based violence and femicide. The unit is also responsible for the implementation of all the community safety programs that you may think of. We also have a human safety program that it's a fairly new program. We have partnered with the UN in an effort to say to the community, they should be responsible for their own areas. They should gather information that would assist government to see what programs should be brought to their communities. So those programs are assisting us, because if we don't know the communities know their neighborhood. Now, coming to the issue of the festive season, as we know that it's the time where everybody is relaxed, it's the time where some of the people become chaotic. You know, 1 minute you sit at home with your friends, you consume drinks, then one friend will say, guys, let's go to town. Let's go to this event, you know, then next minute you leaving your home, you're going to the events. Now, how safe do you become in those particular areas? We have a FESMAC committee. The FESMAC committee is the festive season management committee that assists in terms of ensuring that there is control, there is order, you know, during the festive season, whether it's an event, whether it's in the beach when people are becoming so happy or becoming too happy to even take care of themselves. Even in that particular committee, within that we have programs that take place at the promenade where we always remind people about being responsible, because we say, be happy, but become responsible, because it's your safety. You are responsible for your safety as a human being. Then you become responsible for the safety of the people around you. Because you find some people consume alcohol, next thing they cause chaos, next thing there are fights. Of course, there are law enforcement officers all over. The deployments have been amazing, you know. So there are deployments that have taken place, but the police cannot be everywhere. That is why we remind the people to become responsible for their safety. So within the FESMAC committee, we have a program that assists in taking care of the children, because we know children fall under the vulnerable groups. So sometimes children get separated from their parents or from their caregivers during when they are at the beach. Sometimes a child would be going to the beach with their sibling, then the next thing, the sibling goes into the water, they forget that they are with the child that needs to be, taken care of, then they get separated. The program is called a Separated Children Program. That's where we assist when a child gets separated, then they are taken in the areas that are designated by the FESMAC committee, to take care of that child until they are united with their parent or their caregivers. Of course, we are mindful of the Child Care Act, so hence we have the child minders that are trained on how to deal with a situation where a child is is separated from the parent or the caregivers. In fact, even before that, as soon as they get into the promenade, they are tagged. We have the armbands where they are tagged, and the names of the parents and their contact numbers are written on the armbands. That makes it easier for us to be able to get hold of the parent or the caregiver in a case where a child is separated from the parent. Then we also have issues of cybercrime. It has affected a lot of people, and a lot of people have lost their hard-earned monies because of cybercrime. One typical example is when you just get a message, you have won this, just accept this link, go to this link and provide your details. You know, you get excited, you say, hey, I've won this, you go to the link, next thing, all your money from the bank is gone. That's how people get robbed of their hard-earned money. So those are the issues that we want to, you know, inform the communities about. So I would request that as we talk about these issues, let's spread the word. Go to your home, speak to your children about the safety, speak to your relatives, speak to your friends, you know, whoever has visited you, let's spread the word. Well, there's another focus area that is of great importance to me. You know, it's the mobilizing the communities to form part of the community safety structures. You know, everywhere I go when we conduct these awareness campaigns, I ask people, are you part of the community safety structure in your area? You know, whether it's the community policing forum, whether it's the neighborhood watch, whether it's the street committee, because, you know, and on the street, if you have 10 houses on the street and each house, in each house, there's someone who belongs to that particular street committee, crime can be prevented, because you form a WhatsApp group, you talk. When you see a movement that you don't understand or you don't trust, then you speak through WhatsApp group, and crime is deterred. And you know, we always preach the word of saying, let's know our neighbors. It's important that we know our neighbors, because any movement that you see in your neighbor's gate or in your neighbor's house, you will be able to you know, see that this movement this is not my neighbor, or it's someone that is intruding. Then you can be able to contact your neighbor. Some of us here in this room, they don't even have the contact numbers of their neighbors. So we are trying to say to the people, to us, let us go back to, you know, those years where you would know everybody that lives on your street. You know them by name, you have their contact numbers. If you see something that you don't understand that's going on in your neighborhood, then you are able to talk to your neighbor. Then in that way we can solve this issue of crime, because some of the criminal elements are just so easy to detect. You just see a person walking in your neighborhood, and you see they looking there and there, they don't even know where they are going. If you meet them, you ask, where are you going? You don't know this neighborhood. Do you know who's living in that house? Then you can see that that person is a stranger that is trying to intrude in this community. And also, we also encourage the use of our open spaces, because in each neighborhood you will find an open space. If as the residents of that particular area, we go there, we clean the area, we take our camp chairs while it's festive season, we sit there, we have a braai, we know our neighbors better, we talk, we play sports, the children are here, they get to know each other, they also play sports. That's being neighborly. Those movements and those activities would play a very big role in deterring crime. So there are so many ways of deterring crime besides building those high walls and hiding behind the high walls. Yes, the high walls are fine, they are protecting us, but are we happy behind those high walls? The answer is no. You're not happy because you are scared. You keep on checking anything that any movement that you see, you get worried as to what is happening. So yes, festive season is here. Let us be happy. Let us be merry. Let us be giving. Because as we think back, the fundamental causes of crime are the social ills. That's why I'm thinking about this matter now. When I say let us be giving, it's so bad to have something to eat when someone else that do not have something to eat, because what will that person do? They will think about going and committing crime. I'm not saying we should give everything that we have, but let's think about other people. Let's be, considerate about the matters of better living. Where you can assist, then assist. We in those areas that we go to, you find maybe a household that is being led by a child, the child-headed households. In that situation, if you can assist in getting them the relevant documentation that could assist them to get the grant or to get anything, please let us assist, because in that way we are trying to curb crime. Because if that household is not assisted, we know what's going to happen. The children are going to go and commit crime. The children are going to indulge in drugs in order to suppress their situation. So coming back to the festive season, responsibility is the key. As much as we are saying we want to be safe, we want to squeeze the space for the criminals to operate. Let's not open the gates for them to operate, because criminals are violating our human rights. We need to act responsible so that they don't get this opportunity to violate our human rights. As I always say, criminals work in groups. We work in isolation. That's why at the end of the day, they will be able to defeat us. As long as we work in groups, as long as we work in collaboration, we can be able to tackle the issue of crime. Thank you so much. I think I have covered most of the issues that are burdening us as citizens, because as citizens, as a law-abiding citizens, we want to live in peace. We want to enjoy our life. We want to enjoy our money that we worked for. We don't want people to just come and take away our rights and take away our properties that we worked for. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Phumla, for that brief. contributions towards our discussion today. May we therefore allow you to introduce your guest for this afternoon. If he or she is online now, please do so, Phumla.
Thank you. Thank you, colleague. I have Mr. Mandla Cebekhulu. He is the chairperson of the CPF, the Community Police Forum, from the Point Policing Precinct. So we work with them in dealing with issues of crime around the Point and the beaches, from South Beach to North Beach. Hence, I invited him to form part of this discussion. So we have a lot of programs that we undertake with them. CPF is a legislated community safety forum that works with the police and the community so that the issues of crime are being dealt with accordingly. So, Mr. Mandla Cebekhulu, I hope you are here online. Can you please join the discussion and speak about what you have prepared? Thanks.
Phumzile, are we able to connect to Mandla Cebekhulu?
Okay, I am just trying to get hold of him, but I think, Mr. Msomi, we can maybe in the meantime, while I'm still trying to get to Cebekhulu, we can maybe try and have a conversation with the colleagues, all the guests that are online, because I believe that the safety issues, safety is an issue that it's for all of us. Maybe colleagues have questions around Phumla's presentation, or maybe they'll have something that they are doing on their own spaces that they would like to share. I will be trying to get hold of Mr. Cebekhulu in the meantime. Thank you.
Thanks, Phumzile. Probably while we are trying to connect to Mr. Cebekhulu, maybe Phumla, you can also tell us on some other projects that you are working on with the stakeholders within the and projects that we have undertaken within the space of safety. Maybe not that much elaborative, but some of the projects that we believe that they are the highlights of the city in collaboration with other stakeholders. Phumla?
Thank you, Chair. Other special projects that we undertook in collaboration with our sister departments, we have the city safety strategy that we did with Office of the Strategic Management, RAPA, and all other sister departments. Then we have a city safety strategy. We have a Safer City integrated strategy where we collaborated with the law enforcement officers, SAPS, Metropolis, and other stakeholders from the national government and also the provincial government. This was a project, a pilot project that took 2 years to undertake. That's when we were dealing with issues collaboratively, where we planned programs, we undertook programs together in order to realize the safety within eThekwini municipality. I've also mentioned the human safety project it's also a pilot. It started in Kwandengezi. Thereafter, it will spread across the city. This project is special in the sense that we first go to that community, we engage with the community, we identify the issues that affect the community, whether it's economy or it's a safety, the health, because this has a 7 pillars. It's the economy, it's the health, it's the political, it's the safety, there's other 2. So we engage with those communities. They say, this is what is worrying our community. This is what we suggest that in the event that this particular program is done, then it will address this issue. It's like you consult with the community, and so that you can be able to bring services that are required by the community instead of taking the services that the community doesn't need. So it has taught us a lot of issues, that it's important that we engage with the communities, and we categorize the communities in, we first engaged with the youth because we felt that the things that are required by the youth may be different from the things that are required by the adults. So we engaged with the youth, then we engaged with women in the area, then we engaged with the community at large. Then thereafter, we came up with the community safety plan. So that's the plan that will address all the issues that were identified. Of course, that needs a collaboration and also a commitment from the government departments, because it also calls on the provincial and national departments to form part of the issues that the people are requiring. So those are the projects that we are delivering in the communities where we partner with other departments and our other stakeholders. Thank you.
Thanks, Phumla. Can I open up this to our good guest to have your comments or suggestion while we're still trying to connect with Mr. Olukhulu. I'm trying to see who can I target to go first. Dr. Tab, are you here? Yes, I see there's a hand. Okay, yes, Mashamola, please come in. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair, for the opportunity. Thanks, Phumla, for the wonderful presentation. Safety index in eThekwini is low, and it has been very low for quite some time, excluding in 2020 and the first semester of 2021. I think there was a good job done there. Police visibility contributed to that. At least the safety index improved in eThekwini around that time, but it's low as we speak, and it has been very low. So, Sis Phumla, in your opening remarks, you made reference to cameras, that there is installation of cameras around the city. I think I saw something as well in the print media around the installation of cameras, or maybe they were repaired. I'm not sure, but yes, there's quite a lot of coverage around that. But now I just want to understand how effective are these eThekwini cameras in combating crime. Are there any statistics maybe to support that, or coming out of the usage of these cameras in combating crime in eThekwini, especially in the CBD? In the back of my mind, I'm asking this question. I'm trying to compare eThekwini to the city of Johannesburg, in which their cameras are manned 24/7 and are linked to what they call first responders, maybe in the form of JMPD, and the secondary responders in the form of SAPS. So, and we know how effective cameras can be in terms of speedily solving a crime, achieving good percentages of prosecution and recovering stolen property and returning it to the rightful owners. So I'm trying to understand whether is there any linkage of eThekwini's cameras to first responders or something of that sort. I'll pause there, Chair.
Thank you, Mahlomola. You may now lower your hand. Thank you. Is there any other question before we allow Phumla to give us some findings on that, if there is any impact, or on their studies, what is it that they found, if these cameras, smart policing or whatever, are they having any impact in monitoring or in ensuring that we remain within the low basis of crime within the city? Thank you. All right. Phumla?
Okay, thank you, Mahlomola, for that remark and question. Firstly, I would appreciate the fact that many cameras out of the number, I won't be able to really say the number because it's a disaster management area, but I know that many cameras are working now, especially in the beach and in the CBD. And those cameras are manned by Metropolis personnel and SAPS personnel that sit in the fusion center. So as soon as crime takes place, then they respond and send their members to that particular spot where crime is taking place. So this effort is assisting a lot because the mayor intervened and instructed that he wants 100% functioning of the cameras, because we know previously most of the cameras were not working. So the disaster management was hard at work fixing the cameras and putting the new cameras. So I can safely say that most of the cameras are working, and this effort is assisting the police in responding to crime that is taking place. And also the deterrence, because people can see that the cameras are now working. Thank you.
Thanks, Phumla. You have also mentioned earlier on that knowing your neighbors and suspicious elements of people that are looking to do these small jobs, yard cleaning and all those things. Now, how can you help us to be able to identify people that are really desperate, that are honestly looking to assist, honestly looking to get some piece jobs, and those that are really in for some other intentions within the neighborhood, so that we cannot just blanketly look at people that are looking for jobs or moving around our neighbors as people of suspicions. Thank you. Anyone can contribute. Anyone can contribute. It's not only that Pumla is subjected into an assessment test here. We have our own experiences and the rest. And even now, you know, Pumla, there was a number of registrations. If you are driving an NUR, you are regarded as a person of honor. You come with an NUZ, no matter what make, you have already been turned away while you're still traveling to some areas. But now we have a uniform registration where, how are we going to manage those things? Because it had happened that we are blindfolded. We did the thinking that if you're driving an NUZ and NUL, you're not from this neighborhood, you cannot even afford to be in this neighborhood. So therefore, you're not there for a good deeds. You're there to collect. How do you manage such perceptions?
Thanks, Chair. You know, it's so difficult to manage the perceptions because, you know, I'll talk about the people that are working in the area. I'll assume looking for a job or looking for something. You know, in my neighborhood, every Friday it's a garbage collection. So in the morning you find people coming to the neighborhood, opening our plastics and collecting whatever they are collecting. You cannot chase those people away for obvious reasons. But also at the same breath, you have a right as a citizen to ask someone who is working in the area and you see that person is suspicious. Suspicion then depends on how you view that particular person, how you see their posture, the way they are walking. You know, we are scared as a society. We are a very scared society. We don't trust anyone. You see people going around, you ask them, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you visiting? Just to deter them. If it appears that they were coming here for all the bad reasons, of course you will see that they were coming here for all the bad reasons. And also this issue of saying, well, if you are driving a car that's registered at Umlazi or KwaMashu, that's also a perception. There is no proof that that the person that's driving a Polo from KwaMashu or from whichever township is here to commit crime. It depends on each and every situation. Our situations are dynamic. In my area, we know most of the cars that drive around the area. We know the cars that are coming here for to deliver. So it's all about how you perceive that particular situation at the time. Of course, we are wary about issues of crime that, you know, we just want to be overprotective for ourselves and also for our property.
Thanks, Pumla. I saw your hand, Pumzile, and then Sisnomsa.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Msomi. Mine was just to announce it to Mr. Kulu. He was having trouble to join. He have joined the meeting now. So I think when you're ready to take him, you can take him. Thanks.
Thank you. Sisnomsa.
No, let's allow Mr. Kulu then. If we still have time, I will then comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Kulu. Pramanjas, where are you? Umzila, are we connected to Babcebe Khulu? Come in.
Sorry. So, Babu Nomda, Sanbonan, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, you're loud and clear. You have
So-
just only have 5 minutes to deliver your comments, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Firstly, I want to apologize for unable to join. I don't know what was happening, been trying and trying. Yeah, but I'm happy that I'm now been able to join. And I was like, you are asking me where I am. I was muted, so I didn't realize until I look at it. So that's why you couldn't hear me, but I was hearing everything. Mainly, mine would be to say, firstly, we appreciate the partnership that is between the CPF as a stakeholder and Safer Cities and other stakeholders that we work with in the fight against crime. The partnership is very important to all of us in order to win the fight against crime. It is clear to all of us that we cannot fight crime alone, and we cannot fight crime in silos. So we need to come together and work together as a team so that we are all face the crime that is in our areas, and we then come up with strategies and ways in fighting against the crime. We know that we have different types of crime, but in the main, it is important that the police, the metro, and the other law enforcement, and all the other stakeholders, it is all important to all of us that we work together to fight this crime, so that we win this battle that we are faced with. And I'm very happy to hear that our cameras are now working. I've been pushing that, been to the city manager's office for several times, asking the questions, and even though I could not find him and speak to him myself, but I've been there, and I've been raising this issue with the mayor wherever we meet. I've been raising the issue with the commissioner of Metro, Mr. Mpolo. I've been raising this issue with General Eswa from the SAPS in the district, because especially in our point area, that is where a lot of crime has been happening, and the lot of cars have been stolen in the area. So it was a concern to us, because that thing would have happened twice or three times a day, and the cars would not be found unless there is a tracker, then it will be found. But if there's no tracker, that car is gone for good. So I'm very happy now. I hope the cameras will be able to have the features that the SAPS are actually wanting to view the face of a person who is committing crime, the view of the registration numbers as well. And even though I'm not sure how this new number plate will assist us in fighting crime as such, but we hope that hence we are now having a similar number plates across the province. Maybe in ascertaining
We are losing you, Mr. Kulukulo, or I'm not sure if it's me. Technical team, we are losing Kulukulo.
Okay, he's still online. I'm not too sure. I think his network maybe is a problem. Maybe we can just continue with the hands that were up. I think when he's connected, he can come back again.
I think I saw a hand of, is it Mndebele? You'll forgive me if I'm pronouncing that poorly. Can you please come on while we're still trying to reconnect with Mr. Kobekul, of whom he was wrapping up, because his 5 minutes was almost up.
The name is Mandebele.
Mandebele.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
within
ma'am.
the city of Ekurhuleni, and like any other typical Sowetan, I spent the first 18 years of my life every single December in Durban. So that being said, Durban is a holiday destination of choice, and the marketers out there have made it more and more accessible with things like Booking.com and Airbnb. And with things like Airbnb, people are renting homes. So you've got places, especially around the port and around the northern beach areas, where you've got rows upon rows, streets upon streets of homes being rented out on a monthly or a weekly basis. So obviously you would have a large inflow of people from all over the country. I understand the comment that was made about neighborhood watches. And to what extent is this trend being taken into consideration? That there are a lot of seasonal renters in the June and in the December periods. And to what extent are we factoring that into the awareness point of view, considering that as of next week, Saturday, half of Soweto will be missing, and likely they'll be found in Durban. How do you reach and make people aware of your programs while they are still in their homes and in their different provinces? How are you engaging with the regional space, and how are you engaging with the national space to reach out more to the people that you are attracting to the city, and making them aware of your programs and the safety tips that they need to be aware of, and the hotspots that they need to avoid?
Thanks very much, Mam Nebele. Yeah, good question. Let me invite Usisnoms to partially respond to this question on the programs that we have, because I do believe that, I do know that they also have a collaboration with Durban Tourism, and when it comes to these issues, and also business support in trying to attract people to visit our city. Susnomsa.
Good afternoon, colleagues, and thanks to Pumla and Mr. Kobekulu for the presentations. And with regards to the question that has been posed, the latter question around the mobilizing people to understand what is in for them when they come to Durban. As you have mentioned, Durban Tourism is one of the stakeholders that is mobilizing tourists to come to Durban. And as such, they also work with us in terms of getting what safety tips they need to share with the general public. And hence you would have seen possibly what the mayor was presenting during the his address, as well as during the radio slots that she normally takes on air. She actually indicate what is there in terms of protecting yourself against criminality and what the Durban is offering through law enforcement. But I think the question around how then do we ensure that the communities, before they even land in Durban, are aware of all these programs, like your separated children program, your neighborhood watch programs and others. I think we are not yet there in terms of popularizing those initiatives. As much as we engage with Durban Tourism in terms of sharing the safety tips, which they will share with the hoteliers, that are around the beachfront and other areas of tourist attraction. So basically, that is how we are reaching out to our holiday makers. But I know that we are not doing enough. And of course, the issue of our cameras, as Phumla have indicated that they have not been working for quite a while. I think now we are in a better space to share, I mean, to even share that the existence of the cameras that are working are going to assist us as a city to reduce the number of criminality or the criminal elements within our spaces, and that will bring about a safe environment for all our holiday makers. Someone is actually sharing our safety tips that we normally present with the hoteliers that are in the city. Thank you so much for that. But what I wanted to share earlier was around the neighborhood, the neighborliness, the know your neighbor concept that is very important, colleagues. If we can actually take that, even when you're talking, Mandebele was even saying Soweto will be empty during as from next week. But there are people that will actually take advantage of that in Soweto and then pounce on those houses that are standing empty without anyone. But if we have shared with your neighbors that I'm going away for this particular time, please be on the lookout at my house, it makes it a good, I mean, impact in the safety of your home. I'll tell just a short story. One day I was visiting my friend, and whilst I was waiting for her to open the gate, I didn't actually call her, but I stand on the gate because I was on the phone for about 5 minutes. Within that period, my friend was actually aware that I was at the gate because the neighbor has actually told her that someone is standing on your gate and we don't know why. It's been 5 minutes or so. So I'm saying that neighborliness actually assist us, or will assist everyone to take care of one another, and then your property and your household would be protected in that way against criminal elements. Thank you.
Thanks, Snomso. And I do believe if Mandebele is saying that half of Soweto will be here. So there is really a need for us as Snomso Phumla to activate our tourism colleagues to go back and reflight those tips and places of good destination that can be visited, that are being accredited by the city, and maybe even to communicate with the city of Ekurhuleni on the programs that we have for both June and December. Thanks very much, colleagues, for that. Is Babcele about to finish? Babcele Cool about to finish, or we can move ahead now for Phumla to speak on those safety tips. I saw it, they were flighted earlier on.
Okay, I think Mr. Msomi, we can continue with the Phumla. Ubabcebekulu is really struggling to rejoin.
Okay. Just
Thank you.
Just 60 seconds.
Oh, thanks. No, thanks, Mr. Msomi. I'm not going to go through each point in the safety tips. Those are the safety tips that we prepared. That the safety tips will be shared with the people that are in the room. And also, as I requested earlier, please spread the word. You can share and share and share, and someone shares and someone shares, so that we all become safe. There's also a flyer from communications. I'm going to ask them to, produce more flyers. It's about the safety tips in all the respective areas, like in the ranks, in the beaches, in the ATMs. So we will share those because it is important that we all become safe during this festive season. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best for this coming week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks of the festive season. And also I wish you all well for the year 2024. Let's continue working together to fight this enemy called crime. I'm very hopeful that we will be able to say we are crime-free in eThekwini. Thanks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation from our Safer Cities unit represented by OSIS Phumla. But I do believe that we'll be in a position to be in contact with them for any further engagements and collaborations. Phumla, you have a challenge now that you need to engage our colleagues at the City of Ekurhuleni. Provide them with reliable information sources that they can visit to find more information. Yes, and present with them other attraction centers within our city that are well safely guarded. That, but unfortunately, we didn't talk about anything around the what you need to do when you're at the beach swimming, in case you find that you're struggling. But it's not only at the beach. We have good swimming pools around the city. If you find that, well, you are not a person of spending time in the sun, but there are some other good areas, of which I do believe that Phumzile and the team will organize tourism to do this again in a more marketing format. But thanks very much, colleagues, for attending and loudly sharing your views with us, both on the chat box and or by commenting. Now let me take all these back to Phumzile for the close-up session. Thank you very much, colleagues, for the opportunity. Phumzile.
Thank you, Mr. Msomi. I would like to just alert the colleagues that everyone that was on this call will be able to share a link of the other tips, as Phumla have mentioned, that there are tips for households, taxi rank, and so on. So I will share those to everyone that attended this session. And we would like to appreciate and thank you all for being with us in this learning session. We wish you well, be safe, and have a good afternoon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.